ball through, and it's such a smart touch from Wesley to go across the face of Upamecano. And the decision from our referee, Guido Gonzalez, was that there's the foul outside the box. This can be a red card, dog so, because it's outside of the box. There was a play on the ball. If this would have been in the penalty box, this would have been just a penalty, just a yellow. But in this situation, because it's outside of the box, this decision can be made to send him off. And ultimately, Guido Gonzalez opts to go with a more conservative approach to the challenge and give him Upamecano just a yellow card.
But let me ask you this, Jamie Watson, and let me play devil's advocate here. Because in your day as a flying winger, surely you would be beyond frustrated that that is only a yellow card.
Without a doubt, and it was it's the right decision from Wesley. Keep in mind, there is video assistant referees to this match, so this is being taken a look at, and you've got to find a look that is a clear and obvious error. And to that point, Guido Gonzalez is being sent to the monitor. That would mean there was the opinion that Konate was not in a position to be able to go in and affect the play, and that Upamecano was in fact the last player and should be sent off for denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity.
Well, just away from your screen at home, Didier Deschamps was at the edge of his technical area, furious with the officials and asking why on earth are we going to video review. But this, Jamie Watson, is the reason as to why this has been reviewed.
Tim Ford, the video assistant referee, is taking a look at this, and he's the one that is saying this is a very experienced center referee, so we would understand that Guido Gonzalez has opted to go with the yellow, knowing this could be upgraded if Guido Gonzalez gives the red card initially. There's nothing from that look that's clear and obvious to overturn it. And knowing that there is the safety blanket, the security blanket of VAR, that's why Guido Gonzalez goes with the yellow.
So here's what the referee has to say. So then, he's saying, no, the yellow card was wrong. Red card is the correct decision. And it's greeted to a raucous roar here at Gillette Stadium. France can't believe it.
After the second look, the recommendation for review is a correct one. Wesley is clear through on goal. And because, as we discussed, this was outside of the box, that's eligible for a red card, eligible for review. It's the right decision in the end. Completely changes this matchup. And this will be the marching orders for Upamecano, who had a good night up until this point.
So let me ask you, Jamie, is this the right decision?
Yes. Wesley's cut across the face of the defender to put Upamecano in a position. He lunges for it. He fouls Wesley. He's the last defender. Konate is not going to get to a position, I believe, before an effort towards goal. So that denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity is the right decision, and good on the referees. Tim Ford, the video assistant referee, to communicate and recommend a review to Guido Gonzalez.
Well, they want to replicate the real thing as much as possible. And it does seem as though Maxence Lacroix will be coming on for what will be a France debut. Quite the way to make your France debut. N'Golo Kante is also dressed and ready to enter. We'll get to that shortly, because the referee will allow the free kick to be taken first. Here's a case of pick your poison. Will it be the boot of Leo Pereira or the rights of Martinelli?
Martinelli with the skill. Pereira can strike it with some venom from this distance.
It is Pereira! Gathered well by Magnon in goal.
Wrong shot selection. Pereira has just gone with the inside of his boot. From this position, he's got to put his foot through it. Magnon's going to see that the entire way. That's easy. You'd expect better, but the debutant, maybe a bit of nerves in that moment. He's just standing over it, knowing one strike, this match can change now that Brszil are up a man, yet still down a goal.
It's a abrasive challenge on the far side. Initially, the referee allowed the play to go on, but now they do win themselves a free kick. And so here's confirmation of the changes. So as we said, on comes Maxence Lacroix from Crystal Palace, a player that's played every single game for Crystal Palace in all competitions this season, has earned the rights of the opportunity to impress Didier Deschamps. Centre-half by trade, of course. So one would assume he would slot in to replace Upamecano. N'Golo Kante, the other player, that'll enter here shortly. Of course, back in Europe after 2.5 seasons at Al-Ittihad in the Saudi Pro League. So, Lacroix, the player, coming in to replace Ibrahim Konate in a like-for-like change at centre-half. Lots of confusion now from the France players. Chouameni not entirely sure what's going on, but it will be Ousmane Dembele, by the looks of things, to make way. The Paris Saint-Germain player has run his race for this afternoon. And so Aurélien Tchouameni is the player that will depart for N'Golo Kante. So N'Golo Kante in for Tchouameni, and Maxence Lacroix in for Ousmane Dembele.
More tactical shifts now. You get Kante, who can sit in front, and Lacroix as well, that can go and help show up the back line. This will be a real test of adversity. A 4-4-1 for France now with Mbappe up top, and you still have Elise who can join in, Ekitike on the other side, so you still have the option of this transforming from a 4-4-1 defensively to a 4-2-3 if necessary in the attack.
So, for those slightly confused, there was an obvious miscue, and Ibrahim Konate does remain on the field. So, welcome to international football. Maxence Lacroix. Here's Casemiro. France down to 10 men. Douglas Santos, the player from Zenit St. Petersburg in Russia.
But just look immediately how the mindsets have changed for both sides. Brazil confident in their possession now entering the final third. France having to sit deeper. This is going to be a practice in patience for Brazil to be able to try to wait for the moment when they can exploit a gap in the French low block.
So here's Leo Pereira. Douglas Santos. It's a lovely inviting ball in. It's not completely dealt with. Konate finding Magnon, rather fortuitously.
It's important to note before this match, it was agreed upon there will be 6 total subs for each side, 3 windows. So France used one of those substitutions, yet they did it at a halftime interval. So they still have 3 windows to make 5 more subs. And for France, they now have made 2 substitutions in one of their window.
N'Golo Kante giving the ball away. Here come Brszil. Mateus Cunha just unable to play the ball in towards the penalty area.
That's important for Lacroix, who's just come off the bench, to be able to quickly get into a physical battle, be able to win the 1v1 duel, now get an opportunity in possession.
Pereira from a nonsense type clearance, who's still cushioning into the path of Olise. And here's Magnon. To almost invite the challenge from Vinicius Junior. Of course, at the bottom of your screen, Brazil are set to make a change. João Pedro of Chelsea is set to enter shortly. We're told for Gabriel Martinelli.